Hi, my name is Brooke Hilton and I will be responding to the Module 9 Voices discussion. We're going to start with the definition of cultural competency. I read the National Association of Social Workers, the Code of Ethics, and got that cultural competency is kind of the process of how social workers can continue to develop awareness and knowledge and skills so that social workers can effectively work with people from different backgrounds and things like that. So cultural competence would involve understanding how someone's culture, race, ethnicity, religion, gender identity, sexual orientation, their disabilities they may have, and some other aspects of identity, how those would shape a person's viewpoints or their worldview or their experiences, things like that. And it's also kind of emphasized that the point of cultural competency is not that you would take a test or learn something and pass a course and then you're deemed like culturally competent. It's an ongoing, very dynamic process. So it's a continuous process. You're never deemed culturally competent. You're continuing to learn. It requires humility, a commitment to addressing power imbalances, systemic oppression, and social injustice. As far as my personal reflection on cultural competence, I try to take, obviously for me, like it's a work in progress. And as emphasized earlier, it is a continuous work of the dynamic process. So for me, I work at Bonefish Grill as a server and a bartender, and cultural competence has kind of showed me that or made me go into work knowing that all of my coworkers and managers and customers that come in for the bar or serving, like sitting at a table and eating, they all come from different backgrounds, very diverse. So either, for me, I just need to be open to hearing what makes them about their ethnicity, their race, their religious beliefs, all those different things that I mentioned earlier about someone's identity. It's important for me to take that into consideration when getting to know them. I also try to be really open to hearing their point of views and things like that, and make sure that I'm not just assuming like expertise on cultural competence because I know a little bit about cultural competence, or assuming things about them based on my own biases. And cultural competence, like having it in the back of my mind at work, has helped me come to the realization like, okay, it's helped me practice how to put my implicit and explicit biases to the side, which is really important. However, like I said earlier, it's an ongoing process and there is obviously I could do more. But that's how I kind of reflect myself on cultural competence. And then some areas of ongoing uncertainty. It's not necessarily uncertainty, it's just, I think I struggle with knowing how to effectively challenge systemic injustice in micro level social work practice. I think it can be difficult to address institutional bias or intergenerational trauma when a social worker would work in settings that may not fully support anti-oppressive frameworks. So I'm still learning how to advocate more effectively within systems and alongside clients as I get further into my social work career. I'm not a social worker yet, but this is something that I've been thinking about, when I am a social worker, how will I apply and challenge systemic injustice in micro level policy? So that would be my area of uncertainty. Thank you.